Okay, we got your Mitsubishi Outlander apart, and we find out why it didn't move very much. The clutches are metal to metal. This clutch plate, the ones with the internal teeth, ought to have a clutch lining on them, and it's burned up. And that's the forward ones. Here's reverse. They're not metal to metal, but they're burned up pretty well. And the other ones that aren't burned up are just wore out. And even though when we got a hold of it, it was full of fluid, it was leaking out the axle seals, and also both axles need to be replaced in it. We don't see any reason for this to happen other than usually when we see it this bad, it's usually run low on fluid, and it was not low on fluid when it came here. But leaking out the axle seals, it will get low if a person doesn't keep an eye on the fluid level. But the oil pump's okay. It wasn't because it was low oil pressure, not enough keeping this clamp together because they're hydraulically applied, and that's the only thing we could see. And after a while, what does happen after this burns up, it eventually plugs up this filter, and then you have no oil pressure, and that filter is plugged up now. So what it's going to take to fix this and fix this right is a complete rebuild. And also, we're going to have to flush the transmission cooler to get all that debris and metal out of the cooler, and I'll show you how we do that in just a minute with our patented hot flush machine. But anyway, we're going to have to also replace the torque converter, which is the component between the transmission and the engine, which takes the place of a clutch if you had a stick shift. Attached to this is an estimate. It has all parts and labor itemized. It comes with a 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty. And take a look at it, and to give us your okay, you could just reply to this email, or you could just give us a call, talk to Rod, and we'll get started on it and get you back on the road as soon as possible. We appreciate your business. Thanks. This is our hot flush. It's a patented machine that flushes the transmission cooler super clean. This is not your vehicle, but it will be hooked up to it. These red and blue hoses are hooked up to the transmission cooler lines, and this blue hose is a shop air hose, and what it does, it pumps heated fluid through the transmission for 3 seconds through the transmission cooler, and in half a second it blasts shop air backwards, and that's the pulsing of the hoses that you see in here. And it heats the fluid up to about 190. It's up to 180 right now. And it measures flow. This is how we find out, make sure that it has enough volume. It's running about 2 gallons an hour right now. Excuse me, 2 gallons a minute right now. And it's running about 50 psi. And so that's enough pressure. And that's how we get all the metal and clutch material and all the contaminants out of the transmission cooler instead of replacing it like they a lot of times recommend. But there you have it. That is the hot flush. Thanks.